All right, guys, line up. A black belt is a white belt that never gives up, as long as you're trying to do your best to become a better version. All down to you in the end of the day, right? Because you can only do three things. You can do nothing about something, you can do something right or something wrong. And this is down to you. If you don't do nothing, you cannot expect that things are gonna happen for you. I did that just to become a champion. That was my lesson. When I became a champion, I go, and you need to do that because you want to be as good as you could be. If you hit a wall, this is not good. And if you go and hit another wall, hit another wall, hit another wall, change, hit another wall, you're never going to reach your full potential, because the walls are necessary for you to understand what it takes for you to get what you need. Caterpillar to become a butterfly. You know, that struggle to peel off the cast is necessary to pump the blood so it gives strength to the wings so you can fly out. It's Braulio Estima. I'm from Brazil and I've been living in the UK for the last 20 years, and I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for all my life. In the Jiu Jitsu world, when I started back in '96, again, the opposite of a lot of people think, there was no Jiu Jitsu in my region at all. You know, there was no black belts around. When I started training, there was only a person who just got the blue belt after 10 months of training, and everyone else was white belts. And the coach that I had there is called Charles dos Anjos. He was a brown belt back then. And yeah, that was my first experience in Jiu-Jitsu. And, but until I went to Rio, 1.5 years later, I understood what real Jiu-Jitsu is. And that was a big wake-up call. And I carried on, and here we are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My first experience as a martial artist was when my dad brought me to do some judo when I was 9 to 10 years old. And, but that was, I never heard of Jiu-Jitsu until later on. And then I started doing football, like every Brazilian kid does. And by the time when I was 16, I decided that I need to do something. If I wanna be a sportsman, a professional athlete, I need to do something. And if I've been doing football up until 16, and I've never been picked by an academy, I have to change. One of my mates that used to train judo with me back when I was 10 years old, and I said, Fernando, let's do some judo again. I wanna take something serious now. You know, we're in a different stage now. I wanna take it for real. And he go, Braulio, man, I'm doing Jiu-Jitsu, you need to come and check. I said, what? What's Jiu-Jitsu? I don't want to do MMA or cage fighting. No. Jiu-Jitsu is very similar to judo. It's just that spends a lot more time in the ground, and it's very, very fun. You learn it's good for self-defense and stuff. I said, really? Okay, if it's similar to judo and it's exploring an area that judo doesn't explore as much, maybe I'm going to check it out to use Jiu-Jitsu to help my judo, because my main goal then was being a judo player. Went for the first time. It was fun, and it was kind of challenging, but I feel that, okay, this is something that if I can develop, it can become one of the weapons on my sleeves for judo. And I started training Jiu-Jitsu to help my judo. A few months later, I changed the priority and I started training Jiu-Jitsu and having judo to help my Jiu-Jitsu instead. My first trip to Rio, to be honest, it was in '97. It was just like over a year something that I started training Jiu-Jitsu. And when I went to Rio, it was to compete the Brazilian championships. Up until then, I never have met or seen a black belt in my life. Because at the time, the Jiu-Jitsu, even though we call it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in that period, it was mainly developed in Rio, in the capitals, right? Rio, São Paulo, and the Amazon, the Manaus, which is like in the Amazonian area, where Konkoma came from Japan, that started teaching Jiu-Jitsu to Master Carlos Gracie Sr. and Master Helio Gracie, and then they moved to Rio, bringing the culture of Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit of the culture of the açaí. Stop was, let's go to the Gracie Barra headquarters in Barra da Tijuca. And getting there was pretty unique time because it was just in the week pre-competitions. and pre-competition. Then when I went up, I remember it was like 4 floors to go up to the top level where all the mats are laid. And I remember like yesterday, you know, I never seen so many people train jiu-jitsu in my life. I never seen so many black belts in the same, I mean, I never seen a black belt face to face. Imagine when I get there was about 40 black belts. It's like, what? It's like I was pretty much overwhelmed. So good. Woo! Summer, baby, summer coming, but it's freezing cold tomorrow. All right, guys, get your partners. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Hey, mama. And I lost my first fight. And, but I didn't know about the rules completely. I lost my points. And I remember that I felt, oh man, well, it's so big, the difference, you know? What I need to do, if I want to do something for real, I need to take some adjustments here and go back to Recife and try to improve that. The first Gracie that I ever shaked hands on was Master Carlos Gracie Jr. He was there teaching the class, and then I was like, kind of off place, you know, like I don't even train that day because there was so many black belts that I said, man, I don't even deserve to be here, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was an incredible experience. It was a very big eye-opening. And up until before the competition, I wasn't sure if jiu-jitsu is the jiu-jitsu that I was training was actually the jiu-jitsu that the Gracie trains. I wasn't sure. I was training in a very small place, and is this even jiu-jitsu, you know? And I remember that Master Carlos Gracie Jr. was there. During the class, I said, oh my God, what an opportunity, right? To spend time with Master Carlos Gracie Jr. At the time, he was a professor. And be able to learn direct from the source and train in front of him. And I did all I could. And I was like, I remember before I started the match, because I wasn't thinking the training anything else apart from be able to do well. But I was thinking, man, imagine if he sees me and then give me some hints, at least to give me some direction. I'm not gonna ask, but imagine. And after the training, he called me to the side. And then he said, hey, man, what's your name? I said, oh, my name is Braulio. He said, where are you from? And I'm from Recife. He go, hey, there's something about you, man. There's something about you. Keep training, you know, go back to Recife, focus on developing yourself, choose your people that you hang around, don't go into those, you know, those gangs of party to get drinking on the weekends and stuff. Try to focus on you because that's something about you. He did say that I was 17 years old. Man, I even get a little emotional when I think about it because that talk that he directed to me meant the world to me. Meant a lot more than any medals that I could have taken on that tournament that I lost in the first fight, because it was the confirmation that whatever I was doing, even if it wasn't good enough, it was on the right direction. And I remember that I didn't tell this to no one until I was already 3 times world champion in a black belt. This, like, I did emphasize a lot of the head pull, but doesn't mean that I stay there for too long. I just meant that as I go, look, okay, I'll go down, yeah? It's similar to those things here, look. Same thing. You kind of throw him.
Tá,
faz uma para dentro, aí o cara faz não, aí tu desaparece. Yeah, it's good, yeah? Now, you know, anyway, like here is better. Because you're already in good position. Right hand here, give me your right hand. Here, look.
Oh, just above here.
And then go here, look. Pull, go to the side, come. Yeah, see that? It's all down to you in the end of the day, right? Because you can only do 3 things. You can do nothing about something, you can do something right or something wrong. And this is down to you. If you don't do nothing, you cannot expect that things are gonna happen for you. If you do something wrong, That's you're gonna be a lesson, but only if you had the intention to do it right. If you try to do wrong and then do it wrong on purpose, there will be no lesson about. If you try to do it right and get it wrong, you learn. And if you take those consequences and start adding up on your database of learning, everyone is different in life, right? And for you to be good in anything you do, first thing you need to accept yourself and understand yourself and be honest. I've been talking about this for a while. You know, honesty is very important, and acceptance is very important. Let's talk about jiu-jitsu. I'm long arms, I'm tall, skinny, and I don't have much power. That's how I started jiu-jitsu. Okay? If I start comparing myself with someone that's strong, do what the guy strong is. I need to do like you're already starting to the wrong way. You need to first of all say, I'm not as strong as him. So what can I do with myself? Why he does this way? What his purpose of trying to take the guy down in this way? What happens to the opponent? That's what you should look at it. And if you do your own way, you can get the same results with your own understanding. Because when you understand that is the whys of things and you do your own way, is real, is your reality. You cannot try to copy others just for the sake of copying. You know, you need to understand yourself and appreciate yourself. You need to be happy for what you got, because everyone has attributes and flaws. Everyone has. Everyone is different in life, right? And for you to be good in anything you do, first thing you need to accept yourself and understand yourself and be honest. I've been talking about this for a while. You know, honesty is very important, and acceptance is very important. Let's talk about jiu-jitsu. I'm long arms, I'm tall, skinny, and I don't have much power. That's how I started jiu-jitsu. Okay? If I start comparing myself with someone that's strong, do what the guy strong is. I need to do like you're already starting to the wrong way. You need to first of all say, I'm not as strong as him. So what can I do with myself? Why he does this way? What his purpose of trying to take the guy down in this way? What happens to the opponent? That's what you should look at it. And if you do your own way, you can get the same results with your own understanding. Because when you understand that is the whys of things and you do your own way, is real, is your reality. You cannot try to copy others just for the sake of copying. You know, you need to understand yourself and appreciate yourself. You need to be happy for what you got, because everyone has attributes and flaws. Everyone has. Same way that your personality reflects in the way that you behave on the mat, when you're training, you know, when you are under pressure, when you are winning, when you are training someone that you know you better, or when you're training someone that you know is better than you. Your characteristics that from outside the mats shines over here. At the same time, when you learn how to deal with your ego, with the adversities, when you start to understand that even though you are in a very bad position, there is always a way out. When you train with someone that you are much better than them, it doesn't mean that you cannot train well. You can still improve by practicing things that you need practicing at. And not only using your A game, being through struggle makes you understand in the other end how it is to be able to apply, you know, the techniques on the other side of the coin. And those attributes that you learn, not to mention the respect, the trust, the brotherhood, you know, the integrity, all those kind of values, it also translates to the outside as well. You know, it's a very big character building being here, and I love what Jiu-Jitsu brought to my own personal life. And I know what was the differential that made me to strive to become a better version of myself outside the mats. And I can correlate, because I can live both sides of those coins. And as a professor, I try to always highlight, you know, as much as I can, the same way that principle of someone give you a hint, like Master Carlos Gracie did to me, I do to them too, you know, and I always try to pull a little bit on the side, look, this is just like in life too, you know. And at the end of the day, if you come here and A black belt is a white belt that never gives up, as long as you're trying to do your best to become a better version. Curva mat, Jacob. Essa é good one. Essa foto vai ser a foto do aniversário, essa aí. Chey. Host. Nice one, man. Good training, mate. Good training. Lady, good training. Good training. Nice one. Good training. Nice one. Good training, brother. Good training. Prof. The tree's mindset, like, if you see the mother tree, they always connect to all other trees and helping them to grow together. It doesn't mean that the tree gonna stop growing further. It's gonna grow to the full potential. If you reach a full potential, you won't. Do you get it? If you reach a full potential and help others to reach their full potential, you double won. You know? Because now you help others to reach their potential. And if they do, you are happy for them and they're happy for you, and everyone is in that environment. That's why I jump into the same principles of what Gracie Barra does, you know, which is using jiu-jitsu to help people to become a better version. Like Master Carlos Gracie Sr. always said that if everyone in the world did jiu-jitsu, the world would be a much better place to live. And I truly believe that. Even if you think with the jiu-jitsu mindset, the world will be better.